A new Chinese AI model just released and it's called GLM 4.7, and this AI model is quite good at coding. In fact, GLM 4.5 and GLM 4.6, both of these AI models were really good at coding. So to test this AI model, I just created a mobile application. Let me just quickly show you. So I just created this mobile application in Flutter and I used Code to develop this application. And overall, you can see to develop this entire mobile application, it costed me only $0.33. We'll come back to that later, but first let me just show you what I just created. So this is a Gym AI assistant, and this is a fully functional mobile application which is running locally on my computer, and I just developed this using Flutter and also with just literally one prompt. So if I just click on next, see, and you can see these are like onboarding screens. Let me just click on next, and then let me just click on get started, and now you can see it is running in real time. And here you can see this is the home screen of this application. Sorry, let me just increase the width. Yep, you see that width error, so it will be removed now. So there you can see there is this AI chat option. If I just click on what workout should I do today, so you can see it is giving me this response. And if I just go to this profile section, there are these different options for profile and also these different sort of like exercise types that it created using AI based on my preferences. So yeah, this was just like a simple mobile application. Now let me just quickly share the further information about this AI model. So this AI model has 200,000 context window, and it costs only $0.40 per million input tokens and $1.50 per million output tokens. That's like 10 times cheaper than Claude 4.5 and Gemini 3 Pro. But if you just have a look at these different benchmarks in here, which are like provided on this official release of GLM 4.7, so here you can see this AI model actually beats other industry leaders like DeepSeek version 3.2, Claude 4.5, GPT 5.1 in all of these different benchmarks. Okay, let me just quickly answer the question that all of you have in your minds. Is this the best AI model for coding? No, this is not the best AI model for coding, or in fact for reasoning or for agentic tasks, but this is one of the cheapest AI model that can perform really well when it comes to like the complex coding tasks at this cost, which is like 10 times cheaper than all other industry AI models out there. I think this AI model is quite good, and you can actually use it for general coding tasks, not maybe too much complex coding tasks, but for general coding tasks, this AI model is quite good enough. Okay, so here are some of the other examples that I just developed. So there is this landing page that I just developed inside VS Code again, and I used Code to develop this project. So here you can see I actually used Code with GLM 4.7, and I just created these 3 different landing pages. So this is that landing page that I just created. So I used this prompt which was provided in here inside this demo, which is on official GLM 4.7 blog, but then I just like changed that prompt a little bit to make my own custom version of this landing page, and it just created a really nice looking non-AI landing page, which is really good. Actually, you can see this is just like a basic HTML code, but it did really good job. With that same prompt in GLM 4.6, you could get this result. So you can see the difference between the result in GLM 4.7 and GLM 4.6. There is this another example of a 3D scene which all other YouTubers actually love, but I mean, creating a 3D scene like this kind of basic 3D scene is not very impressive, so I won't like judge the performance of this AI model based on this 3D scene. There is this another example where someone has just created this poster which is really good. Again, there is this image, there is this really good text. This entire poster was created with one simple prompt, by the way. Similarly, there are these like other examples like these slides. You can see the difference between GLM 4.6, GLM 4.7 results. So you can see these are very different results, and the quality of design especially is really good in GLM 4.7. So in this video, what we'll do, we'll try to create a mobile application using GLM 4.7 inside Code, which is like a completely open source and free AI coding agent, and we'll test GLM 4.7 with that. So first of all, we'll create an authentication system. We'll use like an authentication provider, and then we'll just like use that and integrate that inside a Flutter mobile application that I just already showed to you. And second step will be to create a backend for our mobile application. But before we do that, let's just talk about today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is vybes.dev, which is our own company. So I just want to like promote our own company on our own platform. So I hope you don't mind. So if you have a crazy mobile app idea and you quickly want to prototype it, you can simply just use vybes.dev and explain your idea in here. And let's suppose you want to create a social media app and just like explain what sort of functionality this app should have, and then you can simply just click on generate button, and vybes.dev in just a few seconds will create this nice high quality front end design for your application. This is not AI slop, this is not like that generic AI design. These are like really high quality designs that you can see in here. Every single screen is carefully crafted. You can see there are like really nice looking animations on each of these screens as well. So you can almost create any sort of applications, and you can even quickly prototype as well. So you can link different screens with each other to actually see your app working in real time. And once you're done prototyping, I know you just want to implement these designs inside your project, what you can do, you can simply just click on this implement button, and it will create a detailed implementation.md file. You can just like copy it or download it, and then you can just like add it inside your AI code editor, or you can just like individually just go to the view source code in each of these design, and from here you can just like either copy code or click on this copy prompt button, and now you can just like choose your preferred tech stack, maybe Flutter, Expo, React Native or iOS, and after that you can just like copy this prompt and then paste that prompt inside your AI coding agent. Let's suppose in KiloCode, paste that prompt, and KiloCode, your AI coding agent, will get this detailed prompt with detailed implementation guideline and will implement this design for you. You can start using vybes.dev right now. You can just click on the link in description or directly just go to vybes.dev. So to create an authentication system for our Flutter application, the best possible way is to use Firebase. So you can just go to firebase.google.com, and from here you can just click on this go to console button, and here you can find all of your different projects. So you can simply just click on this create a new Firebase project, or you can just like choose any of those existing projects. So you can simply just like name your project, click on continue. It is absolutely simple process to create a project. Once your project is created, and now you can just like go to maybe your project settings, and you can make sure that everything is all right. So I'll just quickly get the credentials which are required, and after that what I'll do, I'll simply just like download this google-services.json file, and then I will just like add that inside my project. And here you can see there is this instruction which is provided there. I needed to just drop this file inside this section. So inside this directory, I need to just drop that file. So right here you can see I just dropped that file in here. And next there is this implementation guideline. I can simply just copy this guideline because we're going to provide this to our AI code editor, and then using GLM 4.7 it will then implement this guideline and then create an authentication system. So first let's just quickly prepare a prompt. I want you to print authentication system in our app using Firebase. I have provided Google services.json file and added it into /android/app directory. Please use the details from there. That's it. And also I think let's just start a new task, a new chat, instead of using the existing one, so we can track how much it did cost us to create that. So let me just quickly go back to Firebase, and from here let me just quickly copy this entire thing, copy it from here. Let me just quickly go back, paste that, next, and next was this. Okay, documentation is provided. I can just copy the link to this entire documentation, and now I can just, here is link to the documentation. Now there is no like similar, like a simple step-by-step guideline. This is going to be a bit complex for GLM 4.7 to like figure out the correct way of implementing a Firebase authentication system inside a Flutter project. So because this is not like Clerk, there you actually find a very basic step-by-step guideline, but here this is very random information that we're providing. So let's just see if it can actually deal with it. And also it's not that difficult, by the way. The Google services.json file has almost all of the details which are actually required to implement, all of the credentials basically which are actually required for the implementation of an authentication system. So let's just hope that it will implement that without any issue, and then we can just like test the authentication systems. Already you can see it is at work. So I'll just pause this video here and then resume as soon as it will implement the entire functionality. We'll just test our authentication system, and then we'll see if it has done a good job or not. I think your view was being blocked. Let me just switch to this. Oh yeah, that was actually better rather than me just blocking the entire view. So yeah, if you have not seen the prompt, so this is the prompt. This is the detailed prompt that I provided in here. So All right. Okay, apparently the task is completed, and it took a very step-by-step approach. First, it created this detailed to-do list, and then it completed all of those tasks one by one, and then it updated that to-do list. So you can see the first step was implementation of authentication screens, login/sign up, and then second step was to integrate authentication with existing app flow, and the third step was test the implementation. So apparently the implementation has been done. Let me just quickly restart application. I can just run this command, flutter run, press enter, and now let's just press on one, and let's just see if it has implemented the authentication system in first attempt. Okay, so we are having an error, and that error is related to Firebase. So what I'll do, I'll simply just copy this error from here, and now I can just like provide it inside kilocode. So press enter. So apparently the error was very simple. This is a simple error that any developer can actually make whenever they're like integrating Firebase authentication systems. So we are actually attempting to use Firebase service before calling Firebase.initialize app. So this is a very basic like beginner level developer error that this smart AI apparently has just made. So yeah, I mean, if you are into app development, you know, like this is a basic thing junior level developer can actually make. So yeah, let's just wait for it to like, let's just see if it can actually fix this error in this attempt. And after that, yeah, apparently it has completed. Let me just quickly refresh. Let me just run Flutter run again. Let me just quickly run on Windows. Actually, another quick way is to run it on Chrome, but I think yeah, it has just opened our application. It should have shown that those onboarding screens first, but there is this error again to default has been created the Firebase initialize app. Okay, now let me just again copy this error. So this is the second attempt, but we are still facing the same error. Let me just quickly press enter, and I will just pause this video here. Okay, apparently the issue has been fixed. The issue is actually because we are trying to run this project on Windows, and the Firebase authentication system is not available for Windows platform. So that's why we're having that issue. So let's just try to run it again. Otherwise, another way to test the authentication system will be to then run this application on a mobile application on a mobile phone. So let me just quickly run this command again, flutter run, and now it is asking for Windows platform. Let me just quickly choose Chrome, because this way it will quickly just open it on Chrome, and I just want to see if we face any errors, or at least if it detects the Windows platform, and it should show that the app was opened on a Windows platform. It should rather open on an Android phone or an iPhone. So let's just wait for that. Okay, perfect. So app apparently is open now. It is opening right now, you can see, and it is loading, still loading, and all we can see is just this plain white screen. Okay. Oh, perfect. All right. So apparently all of the authentication related issues are solved, and we got this nice authentication screen in here. I can simply just click on this sign up button, and okay, fine. Yep, web engine failed to fetch. All right, that's all right. That's not really an authentication issue. Yeah, apparently it is integrated now. So I can just like provide the email passwords and then click on sign up. So it should work now, or I can simply just click on this sign up with Google, and here you can see the exception, authentication only available on mobile platforms. That means we can create an APK file and then run it on my Android phone, on this Android phone. So we can do that too, but it will take some time. I will guide you how you can actually create an APK file, and then you can just like, if you're following this tutorial, then you can just like create an APK file and then run it on your phone. But the good thing is GLM 4.7 has like integrated the complete authentication system inside this existing Flutter project. There were some errors, but I think it handled all of those errors really well, and overall it costed us only $0.36 just for this particular task. So that's good enough. Now similarly, you can create a database using Firestore database. We can actually use Neons, but you can just like use Firestore because we have already integrated Firebase inside our app. So it will be easier for us to like create us like a backend to store text, images, or or maybe like any sort of like data that we want to store inside the application. So to do that, you can again simply click on create, and it will just create a Cloud Firestore. It will just like create a database for us. And the reason why I'm actually not using Neon or like Supabase or those kind of service providers, because for mobile applications, especially for Flutter, it is better to use Firebase, because Flutter is also a product of Google and Firebase is also a product of Google, and also we have already like created an authentication system using Firebase, so it will be easy, like super simple now to just like create a backend using Firebase. So once you have created your Firestore database, now you can just like maybe copy the documentation or just open this tutorial, or you can just like now provide this documentation inside GLM 4.7 in here, and then ask it to create our backend for our application. A backend for this application, whatever you want to store, like maybe different sort of like exercise types or different categories, you want to store all of that data, you can easily do that in here. I'll create a separate video about that, but in this video I just wanted to show you the capabilities of GLM 4.7. So far it has performed really well. Final step that I just promised you was to create an APK file that you can then run on your mobile phone. So this is the simple prompt, which is flutter build APK, then just dash and then just write debug. If you're just like creating a development build just to test on your mobile application, you can just like write this flutter build APK and then just press enter. And what it will do, if your project has no issues, no compilation errors, or no like any sort of errors that can stop or like terminate your build, so it will just then create an APK file that you can then find in here inside app / there is this build option in here, and here you can find your APK file inside this outputs folder, Flutter APK. Here you can find your release file in here. This will be your APK file, app / release. It usually takes like 3 to 4 minutes, so you can just like wait for it to finish the like creation of the build. But once it is done, you can then just open it inside your mobile application. You can just like literally upload it to Google Drive and then just download it on your phone, and that's how you run your APK file on your mobile phone. Similarly, if you want to create an APK file that you want to release now on Google Play Store, so for that the command is flutter build app bundle -- release. And just like enter this command, press enter, and then it will just like create a release file which will be .abb file, and then you can just like upload that file on Google Play Store. Now once you have created your build, your release build, then you can just like upload it on Google Play Store. Just go to play.google.com. You need to buy a Google Play Developer Console account for $25. There is a separate video for that, but I'm just like giving you this simple guideline in this video. So because most of you usually say that I'm not sharing the complete guideline, so that's why I'm just sharing it in here. So you can then just create a new app, just name it test app or just any app, whatever your app name is, and then just give it an app, confirm, accept, click on create app, and then just like create an app inside Google Play Developer Console. You need to buy this account for $25 from Google. You can just like look for Google Play Developer Console on Google, just look for that, and after that you can simply just click on that, and then it will ask you to like pay for it, and then you can just like make a $25 payment, which is like one-time payment, unlike Apple. So because Apple charge you around $99 per year. So yeah, okay, so here you can just like go to this open testing, maybe then click on create a new release, and here you can upload your .abb file right here. Here you can upload your .abb file. You can do this step once you have tested your APK file on your phone and you are sure there are no errors. Only then you can just like upload your ABB file in here once everything is done, and then you can just like provide your app details, and there's like a whole process for that. I'll create again separate video for that, but this is how you upload your APK file on Google Play Console. So I hope this video was super helpful for you. I have covered a lot of different topics in this one video. I hope now you can use this AI model GLM 4.6, which is not the best model out there for coding. The best model out there coding is still Claude Sonnet 4.5 or GPT 5.2. I won't rank that anywhere. Gemini 3 Pro is really good. You can use that, but all of those AI models are like really expensive. So you can use GLM 4.7, which is like cheap, and you can develop your mobile application and then launch it on Google Play Store. So if you have any further questions, just leave your comments in the comment section, and I'll see you next video. Bye bye.